The saga of Danny Masterson, once a beloved fixture of 1990s and 2000s sitcom nostalgia as the charismatic lead of that 70s show, has taken yet another dramatic turn, this time in the courtroom rather than on a groovy set. Convicted in 2023 of raping 2 women in incidents dating back to 2003, the actor is now mounting a fervent appeal against his 30 years to life sentence. And in a move that's as shocking as it is strategic, he's pointing the finger squarely at his former legal team. According to a court filing obtained by Page 6 on November 17, Masterson alleges that his trial attorney, Philip Cohen, botched the defense by sidelining over a dozen potential witnesses and ignoring critical opportunities to counter the prosecution's narrative, particularly its emphasis on the Church of Scientology's alleged role in silencing victims. This appeal, filed in December 2024 and spearheaded by Masterson's current attorney, Cliff Gardner, paints a picture of a trial marred by erroneous judicial rulings and evidentiary oversights that, in their view, stripped Masterson of his constitutional right to a fair hearing. At its core is the claim that Cohen's inaction left the jury saw only the tip of the iceberg of available defense evidence, with a wealth of directly exculpatory evidence gathering dust for no viable tactical reason. It's a bold accusation, one that transforms the appeal from a mere procedural challenge into a full-throated indictment of legal malpractice, potentially opening the door to not just a retrial but civil repercussions for Cohen himself. To understand the gravity of these claims, one must rewind to the origins of the case. Masterson, 49 at the time of his arrest in 2020, was accused by multiple women, former girlfriends and acquaintances, who alleged that he drugged and assaulted them at his Hollywood Hills home during parties in the early 2000s. All were members of the Church of Scientology, as was Masterson, a devout adherent whose faith became a flashpoint in the trial. Prosecutors argued that the Church's doctrine and practices discouraged victims from reporting abuses, with policies like disconnection, severing ties with suppressive persons, allegedly used to intimidate accusers. One victim testified that church officials pressured her to remain silent, warning that going to police would be a suppressive act against the organization. The 2023 trial, held in Los Angeles Superior Court, was a media circus, blending #MeToo reckonings with the enigmatic allure of Scientology lore. After a mistrial in the first proceeding due to a hung jury on some counts, the second trial resulted in convictions on 2 counts of forcible rape, while the jury deadlocked on a third. Sentenced in September 2023, Masterson was remanded to the California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo, a medium-security facility where he's reportedly adapted to the rhythms of prison life, gardening, reading, and maintaining contact with his wife, Bijou Phillips, and their daughter. Enter the appeal. Masterson's legal filing doesn't mince words about Cohen's shortcomings. It asserts that the attorney interrogated only 2 witnesses out of more than 20 potential ones, despite many having provided prior statements to police and investigators that could have bolstered the defense. These unnamed individuals, per the documents, might have offered character testimony, alibis, or contextual evidence challenging the timeline or consent narratives. More explosively, the filing accuses Cohen of spurning advice from Church of Scientology attorneys to summon church members as witnesses. The goal? To rebut the prosecution's portrayal of the organization as a victim-blaming monolith by demonstrating its support for reporting crimes, a counter-narrative that could have humanized Masterson and diluted the religious angle. This Scientology thread is particularly thorny, woven tightly into the fabric of the case. The church, founded by L. Ron Hubbard in 1954, has long been dogged by allegations of secrecy and control, from celebrity endorsements, Tom Cruise anyone, to lawsuits over abuse cover-ups. In Masterson's trial, transcripts revealed chilling details. One accuser claimed she was told by a church ethics officer that pursuing charges would destroy her family. Prosecutors subpoenaed church documents, but many were withheld, fueling conspiracy theories and calls for deeper scrutiny. By not calling church witnesses, Cohen allegedly ceded this battlefield, allowing the jury to view Scientology through a prosecutorial prism, mysterious, manipulative, and complicit. Gardner's broader argument in the appeal extends beyond witness snubs to judicial missteps, such as rulings that limited defense cross-examinations or admitted what they deem prejudicial evidence. Violated Masterson's right to a fair trial, the filing thunders, invoking due process clauses that echo landmark cases like Gideon versus Wainwright. If successful, this could unravel the convictions, forcing a retrial or outright dismissal. But appeals are uphill battles. California's appellate courts uphold 90% of criminal convictions, per state data, and Masterson's team faces the burden of proving not just error, but prejudicial error that swung the verdict. Masterson's fall from grace is a stark reminder of how swiftly fame can curdle. That '70s show, which ran from 1998 to 2006, catapulted him to heartthrob status alongside Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, blending era-specific humor with relatable teen angst. Post-show he dipped into drama, Dragon Ball Evolution alas, and producing But Shadows Loomed. The LAPD's investigation, launched in 2016 amid the Weinstein scandal, interviewed over 60 potential victims, though only 3 charges stuck. Co-stars like Kutcher and Kunis faced backlash for penning supportive letters to the judge pre-sentencing, later apologizing for the misunderstanding.